Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to episode 30 TomTalks podcast. Hold on, right there. All right, 30 of the TomTalks podcast. Live in person this time with Matty B.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
cheers.
Cheers. I fucked up last time. I did it at my house in my desk. When I recorded, I never got his audio, so
Yes.
we are here live this time. Take two.
And better than ever.
Better than ever, baby. Love doing this. I love doing it here better. I love being more in person.
Yes, because we can read each other's facial cues and shit like that.
Let's pull up what the topics real quick.
We won't be able to show you guys what we're talking about, but we will be talking about...
Unless we edit it afterwards, but let me just see if I can
if you edit things in.
Find it. Hold on.
But I think you want to talk about football, everything that happened this week.
Yeah, a big week of the NFL. A lot of shit happened in the NFL, and then we're going to talk about Legends Arceus, how much we love it. All right, so first, let's talk about the title games, the AFC and NFC title games.
Bangies, dude. Bangies to the bowl.
Bangies to the bowl. I cannot believe that shit happened, dude.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for them too, but I still, it's just shocking. Chiefs are dominating.
4-win team. They were a 4-win team last year.
Yep, 4-win team last year, dude. The Chiefs dominated that first quarter. They're driving down to score another touchdown. They called a bad play, and they stopped them at the goal line right before halftime. That's when everything swung their way.
Dude, and the Bengals' defense showed up. Super important, at the right time. They won. They beat Pat Mahomes.
Yep.
If they beat Pat Mahomes, they can beat Matthew Stafford, right?
They can.
I think it's going to be a tough game. We'll talk about the Super Bowl in a second, but that was Joe Burrow. Joey Burr, dude.
Joey Burr. I love that
nickname. Insanity. He's so good. He's not going to be the next Tom Brady, but he's going to be a staple in this NFL.
Oh, yeah, dude. What did I say last? Oh, yeah, we should have known he was going to win what he was wearing before the game. He looked like the Rock. He had that black turtleneck and the iced out chain.
Nobody has that much drip and loses.
Nobody. We should have known.
Dude, and not only is he wearing that drip, wins that game, he had to have gotten laid after that game.
Oh,
right?
he absolutely
the dude has the drip, the looks. He just beat Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs in the fucking championship game.
He clapped somebody's cheek that night.
Did not go home alone.
And you know what he said in one of the post-game interviews? A reporter asked him, "Is that chain real?" He just smiled. He's like, I make way too much money for wearing fake jewelry. I'm like, yes.
He said, I don't speak porn.
I don't speak poor talk.
So, great game. Good. Both games are really good.
Both games are great.
You want to talk about the NFC game?
Yes, that was a fucking dogfight I've ever seen one.
One of the best games I think I've watched all year in terms of just fucking willpower to play, right? Like, these players brought it all, left it all on the field. I feel bad for them. I'm not a huge Niners fan.
Yeah.
But I feel bad for them because they tried so hard.
And they lost because of Jimmy G. Unfortunately, he was not that clutch.
Yeah. But, I mean, they got to get rid of Jimmy G.
Which they said they are. He said he's looking for a trade partner. Yeah. He wants to go to a winning organization, so...
I don't think Trey Lance is going to be that good, though.
Hey, maybe we don't know. I know I said it last night, but like, people are looking for players that they can I'm trying to think
build around.
Not build around, but like they want quarterbacks that they can
improve.
Yeah, like
work on. They want to They want to build like a Jalen Hurts. They want to build the Jalen Hurts architect type. That has the intangibles. Like, I think Trey Lance has a lot of intangibles as well.
Yeah.
But, and if they work on, the things they can, he'd be a good quarterback.
And I know I said it last night. I know it's not fair to compare a lot to Josh Allen because he has crazy arm talent. He came from a small school. Not a lot of things were going right for him. And he had a bad first rookie year. And then, that second year he improved a lot. Yeah. 2020, he was an MVP candidate.
It's possible. But again, like I said,
I know Josh Allen's like the big.
You can't. That's like never happened. Right? Like
very rarely happens.
He's so unique, and it's almost like being like, oh well, any 6th-round quarterback could be a Tom Brady. Well, no, not any 6th-round quarterback could be Tom Brady. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Though I don't trust any, North Dakota quarterback.
Oh, come on.
If I'm being honest.
Don't throw shots at Carson.
My fucking butthole was clenched during that draft because I was like, I swear to God, if we trade up for Trey Lance, I will blow my brains out. Because that is such an Eagles move. They're like, hold on.
There's no reason to throw shots at him.
I know we just drafted Jalen Hurts and caused a whole quarterback, issue. But what if we drafted another North Dakota state? like, I think that's a good idea. What do you guys think? Just a bunch of yes men in that room, right?
Oh, there probably are.
But, yeah, great games. Matthew Stafford, I love him. I love him as a human, right? Like, he's a good person, and he suffered for years relentlessly on the lines.
Yeah, absolutely. And when his time in Detroit, a lot of us blamed him for some of the losses. Some of them were.
Yeah.
Maybe in the playoffs, some of them were. He was 0-3 before. I'm trying to think. 2011 was his first year in the playoffs. He lost to Saints. 14 was the game he lost to Dallas on a very controversial call, non-pass interference call. They should have won that game, and then 16 was against the Seahawks. They lost that game too.
I really like Matthew Stafford. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. But he definitely did not play as well as I thought. I had this preconceived notion
that he was going to be like the MVP or whatever.
He was going to be a lot better with the arsenal he had, right? For, half the season, Robert Woods, then Cooper Kupp, who still is had the best stats of any wide receiver, right?
That's crazy fucking year.
And now Odell Beckham, to have these kinds of weapons and the defense they have, and I mean he's still good, right?
He got in a bit of a slump,
and he's going to the Super Bowl. So how much could I really critique? We're two guys on the internet.
Yeah,
we're critique him.
We critique everyone.
But I definitely had higher expectations, if that makes sense.
That's fair. I had kind of those same expectations too, but
it's not like Jimmy G where I'm just happy that he got to the champion. Good for you, Jimmy. You know?
Right.
I did not expect this. Good job. Way to go, buddy.
Way to go, pal. Just don't fuck up. That's your only job.
Don't throw picks.
Yeah.
You don't need to throw touchdowns. Your defense will help you.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Let's talk about that Super Bowl a little bit, and then we'll do a full. Next week will be the full Super Bowl preview that we're gonna do.
Yeah, Bengals all the way, man. I wouldn't put your money on the Bengals, but I'm rooting for them hard.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it's gonna be a really hard fought game if they want to win.
The Rams are favored by 4.5. The last I saw.
I think it's gonna come down to.
It's gonna be a last drive game, absolutely.
Well, I think it's gonna be similar to last year. And we did a podcast on it, and I called the winner of the Super Bowl.
That you did, yes.
And I called exactly for what reason they would win. I said the Bucs are going to do way better than a lot of people think because their front nine are a destructive force.
Yeah, front seven, yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever, numbers. And the Chiefs O-line couldn't handle. I think it's going to be a very similar situation.
Oh yeah,
not nearly as powerful, right? But the Bengals O-line is going to have to play very well.
Oh yeah.
I think it's going to still be a close game. But if I was going to put money on, I think the Rams are going to win.
Yeah,
They
it's one of those things your head says the Rams are going to win, but your heart wants the Bengals to win so bad.
I mean, they literally sold their future for this Super Bowl. They're selling first round picks. They're getting Jalen Ramsey. They have Aaron Donald.
They sold.
They did everything they could.
Yeah.
And for them,
so far it's paid off. If they win it, it's definite. It's going to be. I think a lot more teams are going to do what the Rams have done. Just sell the farm, sell the market for great talent.
Very good point, and that's why I really want the Bengals to win. I want the NFL to still be this mystical place where you could sell the team, you could do whatever the fuck you want. And a team last year that was a 4-win team is going to come in and wipe the floor with your ass. I don't want this to be the new that. What is this? The NBA?
Yeah.
I don't and I mean obviously we have cap, but I don't want teams to just be like, all right, the Rams did it, they won. Mm-hmm. Went to a Super Bowl in 2018, they lost, but they kept selling the future.
Yeah.
And they got back to the Super Bowl in 2021. I'm sorry, and they won. I don't want that to be it.
Yeah, I don't want the same thing either. But now, all right, let's move off of that Super Bowl real quick. The greatest quarterback of all time, officially retired from the NFL. Mm-hmm. This man right here. I had to do it. It's better to pay $150 now than when this becomes, or hell, even a fucking younger Brady jersey from like the early 2000s be like $1,000.
100%, and that's why, as you know, as your cousin, I'll tell you, you should, since we're going to be drinking tonight.
Oh yeah,
we already are.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Hey, cheers again.
I think you should take it off before the festivities start.
Oh, I will.
And then just don't wear it. Like, frame it up, whatever you got to do.
I think what my plan is, I'm gonna go to the year he gets inducted, 2027 Hall of Fame. Try to get him to sign it. Then I'll frame it, just hang it up forever. Yeah.
It's also not a bad idea to try to find a Pats jersey, like a Super Bowl Pats jersey of Tom Brady's. And just have that, frame that too.
Oh yeah,
like it's gonna be worth money. Like
absolutely.
Like stop looking into NFTs and Bitcoin. You know, start looking into Tom Brady's jersey.
Right.
I'm telling you, it's the next big thing.
It's gonna be it's kind of it's been a thing, but like
I know.
But with Brady, it's probably a whole nother level. But dude, I said it. Jesus Christ, I'm stuttering. I can't talk tonight. But I legitimately thought he was going to play one more year. Only because, he's the ultimate competitor, and he figured that this loss would stick with him for a while. But I guess he said, nah, I'm done.
Yeah. I respect that about him.
No, I do, yeah.
He's going out on top. He's doing we talked about this last night. He's doing what you should if you want to be that legend. Not like Peyton Manning, where, he had... everyone knows Peyton Manning was a Hall of Fame quarterback, but that
Absolutely.
was it.
That year he was just not playing good at all.
Like, he played, there was no gas left in the tank. Mm-hmm. And now Tom Brady's going to be this mystical legend we tell our kids, where, he could have played another 10 years.
Yep.
Like, I truly believe he could have.
Oh, yeah, our kids, our grandkids are going to know about Tom Brady. They're going to be like, there's no way that's true. I'm like, oh, look at the end of the
No way. I lived it, sonny. Like,
I lived it, sonny. We watched him win so many Super Bowls. We loved him. We hated him.
It's terrifying. And as Eagles fans, I think there's, almost no one better than us to understand how truly we can actually hate him.
Yeah.
Which I think speaks volumes that we're, complimenting him as much as we are.
We may... I don't quote unquote hate him as much as I did when he was with the Patriots, because, Tampa Bay brought out because, he was so reserved in New England for 20 years. He really didn't present much of a personality. But when he got to Tampa Bay, he was more open to talking about personal stuff or whatever. Yeah. Not as much with the Belichick stuff or whatever, but just him as a person.
His kids.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that once.
Yeah, from what I see, didn't kiss his kids at all.
But I think you're going down the right, I think you're about to say I think we respect him.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we don't necessarily like him. I don't like his personality. I think he's a sore loser.
Yeah,
fucking shake Nick Foles' hands next time, you son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
But, God, you're terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
I've never been this scared of a 44-year-old man before.
I know, right?
Like, Jesus Christ. And not only that, he's retiring a legend, and now he gets to go home to Giselle.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck
Supermodel wife.
God damn it.
Who makes us probably...
more than him.
Oh, definitely more than him. I'm just trying to figure out how much. Probably 10 times more than him?
When he was with the Pats, I'm sure. He got paid not very little.
Well, he decided to. He
was a team player.
He was the team player, but... Here's what I got to think about. Obviously it's a good thing that he did do that for the team or whatever, but, now he's probably one of, the very few quarterbacks in the NFL, I think, that he gets paid from other outside sources, not just from the NFL. And that's why that's why I like quarterbacks who try to demand their money from the teams, even though it's quote-unquote selfish.
Mm-mm. Listen, at the end of the day, it's a business.
Exactly.
These, kids, because a lot of them are younger than us.
Oh, yeah.
These kids are in there for very little amounts of time. You need to get your bag. As much as I love players that will take pay cuts for the team, I love that. I think that is a great quality to have. Mm-hmm. I harbor no resentment to anybody that's dude, I'm only, what's the average, year span, career span?
From what I've read, I think it's only 3 years.
I was going to say, it has to be at, low. I was even going to say, maybe 5. But 3 makes sense because of how many people just come in, don't do well, and get fucking practice squatted and get kicked out, you know?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not probably because they suck. It's probably because a lot of other players are better than them.
Yeah.
Like you could be like the best high school player, a great college player, but once you get to the NFL, it's a fucking whole nother ball game.
Exactly. Yeah. To say they suck, they're still amazing. They were probably great on their team, you know, in college, but. Yeah, NFL's Urban Meyer, right? He was coaching the Jags, and he even said, you know, it's like playing Alabama every week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's because you're taking the best of the best.
Oh,
man. Yeah. Like, how do you come into the NFL and not imagine that it's going to be that hard? You think it's going to be like college, you fucking dumb idiot?
Yeah, right.
Fuck that guy. And talk about the Jags.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about it a little bit.
Well, a little... Segue to Dougie P.
All right. Let's do the coaching. Let's go with the coach.
Unless do you want to keep talking about Tom Brady?
No, we're done with Tom Brady. Let's pull up my. I want to pull up my Twitter to see who got hired where because.
Pull that up. While you're doing that,
let me see.
Doug Peterson, very happy for him.
All right, here we go.
Go to the Jags.
So we had a bunch of head coaching confirmed hires this week. The Bears hired Matt Eberflus. He was the defensive coordinator for the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Broncos hired Nathaniel Hackett. He was the offensive coordinator for the Packers, which brings up some interesting rumors or aspects that may or may not happen. The Giants officially hired Brian Daboll. He was with the Bills. He's offensive coordinator for the Bills for the past few years.
That's a big thing right there, but we'll get into that.
Raiders got Josh McDaniels. Vikings. Supposedly they hired Kevin O'Connell, who is the Rams' offensive coordinator right now, but they can't confirm it until after the Super Bowl.
It's just crazy to me.
And then, yes, like you said, the Jags officially hired Doug Peterson.
It's crazy to me that Brian Flores has not been hired yet. That these guys, 6 guys, were picked over Brian Flores. I'm not saying he's an amazing coach. I'm not saying he's great. But he's a good coach.
He's definitely a solid pick, and
I'd say he's even better than Nick Sirianni. I like Nick Sirianni, by the way. I'm not shitting on him.
Yeah, I'm not shitting on him. I was
a first-year coach. He took us to the playoffs.
Oh yeah, I was very suspicious of him, like from the beginning. Yeah. But that's what Laurie does. He hires. Andy Reid was he was basically nobody when he got hired in whatever '98 or whatever.
Yeah, trust the process.
Yeah,
trust the process.
And then Kelly was a big college hire, but let's not talk about shit Kelly, but.
No.
Speaking of Brian Flores, he is suing the NFL for racial discrimination. Specifically, it was the Dolphins, Giants, and Broncos. Specifically, he mentioned in those lawsuits.
Not to get too political, but I think it's a fucking about time, especially this year. Like with what's the Raiders guy that got fired?
John Gruden.
Like, all those emails coming out and a lot of Redskins emails coming out. Like, or, I'm sorry, fucking Washington Commanders. But
we'll talk about that soon, but yeah.
All this shit coming out, it's fucking crazy to me that you can be racist in 2022. Like, and I'm not just talking, whatever, like, but the emails with fucking Gruden were insane. And I'm sure that there is some systemic, racism when it comes to hiring coaches, especially. I'm sure there is. I don't know much. We don't know much about that. But all I'm going to say is we just got to let it play out. Yeah.
And Flores is risking his coaching career for trying to make sure the right thing happens. So I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
Trying to make change and all that.
One player who was it? He was on the 2017 Browns. God, he's a big name. He came out today and said that with Hugh Jackson, they were forcing him to lose. Yeah,
wait. I think I may have seen that article too.
He's a big name. He just came out.
What the fuck was it? McCourty, right?
Yes.
One of the McCourty brothers.
Yes, yeah, one of the McCourties. He came out and said that, and he was like, yeah, I get it. And
he said he was off. Flores said he was offered $100,000 for every loss for tanking, and that I feel like that's not talked about enough. That should be just as big as this racism thing.
You should be like we talked about yesterday. You should be forced to sell the team if you're trying to do shit like that, like tanking. Because I think the NFL is a really good system, but tanking is an issue. It doesn't happen often, but it is an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And when it occurs, because there's really no way to prevent it in the system we have, that's got to be it. Like when you sniff tanking, immediate fire. Like there's got to be sell the team. You're out of here. Like get out. Like Roger Goodell has to do his job.
They may do that. They may force. Stephen Ross is the owner of the Dolphins. The other 31 billionaires may force him to sell the team.
Mm-hmm.
So that's as much information as we know right now. We'll find out more later in the future. And then what else was going on? What else?
We could segue to the Redskins, former Redskins,
the
newly
Washington Commanders football team.
Actually, former Redskins.
Football team now.
Former Redskins, former Washington football team, and newly Washington Commanders.
Oh my god! Honestly, I don't hate the name. The name's not that bad. It's whatever.
It's growing on me.
It's whatever. The name's whatever, but and the jerseys from what we saw, the picture they officially posted. I don't think the jerseys are terrible, but I just don't think they're that great.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like, and was going to lead to my next point of these past few years when the NFL teams have changed their jersey designs. Like Bengals and Patriots, for example, they changed theirs, I believe, 2020 and this year. They weren't terrible, but I just feel like that their past jerseys were better. They didn't need to change.
Mm-hmm.
All they did was take the numbers off their shoulder pads, did fucking logos near the arms or whatever, and nothing crazy. I just there's no reason to do that.
I would like to get a better look at the jerseys. Like the promo that came out wasn't weird lighting, right? Artistic lighting.
Yeah.
But I hate, and we talked about this. I hate the W. Give him a fucking symbol. Why are you sticking with W?
Oh yeah, I 100% agree. Fuck the W. Give them a soldier or an actual commander or something.
That's why I think pigskins would have been pretty cool.
Yeah,
a cool hog.
Pigskin hogs or red wolves or something like that.
Red wolves would have been cool.
I think that was one. I think those two were in the mix for the finalists. But final names too.
I think pigskins, in my opinion, would have been a really good homage and an easy transfer from Redskins. Because Redskins, let's face it, I mean, you could have your own opinion, but it's a pretty racist team. If I had a team name called the Blackskins, I'm pretty sure we all understand that that's unacceptable.
Oh, yeah, that would be, no, get out.
Yeah, so let's get past the fact that Redskins is not, a viable name.
Yeah.
But it would have been a good homage because, skins, throwing the football skin, right? The pigskin, i.e. the hogs, right? So I think that would have been an easy transfer, and, animals are cool, man. Eagles do, Seahawks, easy. Giants get weird, when you have some sort of, because what even are the Giants' symbol, right?
It's just the NY.
I don't like that.
New York? I don't know.
Have a picture.
They've been around for a long time, so
yes.
So.
Yeah. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. And then, yeah. Let me see what else real quick. So yeah, we talked about the coaches. We already talked about the coaches a little bit.
We can transition to Pokemon.
Let's do it.
All right.
I want to do it.
Football done.
If you don't like video games, click out. Get out.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, but we're gonna geek out now.
Pokemon Arceus, dude.
Legends Arceus, baby.
I'll never call it Arceus. I won't.
I don't like Arceus. I like Arceus better. Yeah.
In the English language, I'm pretty sure when you got the vowel after the C, it turns into an S sound, right?
Yeah, I'm
pretty sure that's the grammatically correct.
Yes.
So I don't know. Don't come in the comments and argue with me.
the one or two people that watch. I do this for a hobby. This is fun for me.
Yeah,
but whatever.
I like talking. But great game, dude. Best Pokemon game ever. If you've never played, this is the game to play.
I just beat the story last night after we finished the first time.
I'm
not going to say anything story-wise.
Let's not spoil too much.
We're only going to talk about till,
Let's stick to game mechanics. And not because the story is really good. And I don't want to spoil too much, right?
Yeah. There'll be some, but not a lot.
Great story. I think they could really take this and run with it. They got a great open world aspect. I have nothing to critique about. The way you play the game is infinitely better, right? It's focusing on catching Pokemon. It's adding cool things like, you know how it sucks to trade your Pokemon to evolve them? That's out of the game. It's a single player game like it's always been.
Yeah.
And it's focusing on being a single player game instead of making money. Like, so it's...
you can make money by catching more Pokemon and completing the research of the Pokédex.
Well, I meant making money as, like, Nintendo.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, because that's the whole reason they had trading.
Yeah.
So you would be like, oh, convince your friends to buy the game, or you buy a second DS, which we've all done before. I mean, I have 3 DSs, you know, and buying multiple games and shit like that. That's always been their MO, and I really hope they run with this and go in the future. But they stepped away from the gym leader.
Yeah, the gym leader aspect, which was I figured they would. It's before Sinnoh was officially Sinnoh. They call it the Hisui region. And you're trying to figure out, like, what the Pokédex is and, like, trying to fill that up. Like, you don't know a lot about the Pokemon. But
it's a notepad.
It really is a notepad.
I like it.
I think that's cool as hell, too.
Yeah, dude, it's an old style game. You know, it's, like, probably fucking a few hundred years before regular Pokemon.
Yeah, it's like, they said it takes place, like, way before.
Yeah. So, like, we did some math, and, I mean, this is estimated math, but I would say, you know, if Arceus is, like, year 0, maybe the regular Pokemon games are, like, year 600.
Maybe.
Something like that. Maybe a year 1,000, like, in that range, you know.
That's possible.
But cool game. You can, you know, find items to level up your Pokemon instead of trading. That's cool. You can catch alpha Pokemon,
yes,
which are not like the weird Mega or whatever.
Yeah,
they're just bigger and stronger.
Gigantamax. Yeah,
they're just bigger and stronger.
Yeah,
which is cool.
I have a few of I have a few of those too. How much? What are the ones you have?
So I just yesterday when we filmed this, I only had 1, but I have 3 now.
Nice. What did you get? What else did you catch?
My first one was Snorlax.
Hell yeah,
love him. One of my favorite Pokemon of all time.
Hell yeah.
Second was a Gallade.
Ooh.
A Gallade. I got the snow.
That's snow. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about, yeah.
And then I went into a Distortion Zone, which populates random Pokemon from all time.
And there are more rare of them, too.
Yeah, and I got a Steelix.
Oh, dude, that's crazy.
Really cool Pokemon.
That's awesome.
I really want to use him because he's high level, too, but I'm like, I like Gallade, you know?
Yeah.
Cool Pokemon. A lot of Pokemon. Very unique sets of Pokemon. But I literally have the only critique I could even say is so there are games like, let's say, Jedi Fallen Order, where it's linear open world. It's not open world because you follow a straight path. But, you know, and then there's, you know, real open world like Skyrim where you have a map and you just walk. You can fucking climb that map or whatever.
Yeah.
This is almost like an in-between where it's like a segmented open world. They'll give you segments. While it's a very vast segment and you're literally in the open world, you can't walk from segment to segment.
Yeah, you're basically stuck in one place until... I mean, you can still explore that place as much as you want. Yeah. But you're stuck in there until you do more of the story.
Yes.
Which is I like. That's a good structure for them. They should try to stick with it.
I think it helps, you know, get the people it's baby steps, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want to just throw a player in open. But I honestly wouldn't mind seeing throw us into a huge open world, right?
Yeah.
Like Skyrim. I think that'd be pretty cool. And that's just my opinion. I have nothing negative to say about this.
My only critique of the game is whenever a new Pokemon game comes out and they reveal new Pokemon like for that specific region, I try to use those specific Pokemon at first, like the new Hisuian Pokemon. Like they have like the starters have all Hisuian evolved forms. Their final forms are all Hisuian forms. Typhlosion, I don't care. I'm gonna spoil them anyway. Typhlosion is Fire and Ghost, which is I wasn't a fan at first, but this design's grown on me.
Yeah.
Samurott is Wood or Dark, and Decidueye is Grass Fighting, which is the only one I really don't like.
Yeah.
So and then there's they do what they have done with the passings. Like, they have Alolan Pokemon and
Yes.
What's the other region? Fucking
I can't remember, but I know what you're talking about.
Whatever the Sword and Shield.
Yeah, they'll have regional.
The regional, specific forms. Regional forms, which
it's like Ursaring has Ursaluna.
Yeah, Ursaring involves Ursaluna.
Scyther has Cleaver.
They have Cleaver. They have a Suing Arcanine, which is instantly became one of my favorites. Arcanine is already one of my favorite Pokemon, but his Suing Arcanine, just his design alone is badass as fuck. They have trying to think what
Hisui and Voltorb, right?
Hisui and Voltorb. He evolves to a Hisui Electrode. One of my
which is cool. They look like the Pokeballs of that time. They're they look wooden.
Exactly, they do look wooden, which I think is awesome. But, and then so that's my. I just feel like you don't get them. You don't get the access to them early enough for me, because early on I was using a lot of Johto, Sinnoh Pokemon like Luxray and Floatzel and whatever. Later,
Sinnoh, but
I know, but like you don't. How I feel, you don't get access to them. I guess sooner enough.
I see what you're saying, and
that's just how I play. I guess some other people don't like.
I was gonna say, some people probably have the opposite opinion, right?
Yeah,
where they're like, no, give me the old Pokemon. I love like Johto. Like I want the give me Johto and Kanto Pokemon as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So they're in like between a rock and a hard place. They'll never be able to please everybody.
Yeah.
But it's I think they still best Pokemon game out there. I've never had this much fun with a Pokemon.
Oh, I've had a lot of. It is a little grindy, but it is a lot of fun.
Well, they made it tough again.
They did.
The Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl was the easiest Pokemon game I've ever played. Easiest.
Even with Cynthia.
I actually never got to Cynthia.
Yeah, you didn't get to her yet?
But I'm sure it won't be that hard. Like, comparatively to...
she's still relatively hard.
What about, when we, cracked open the Ruby and Sapphire and we're playing against that Elite Four? That was a tough Elite Four.
It was. But not looking back now, it's not that tough, but yeah, it was tough.
Because we're also older. But
yeah.
But, fuck, man.
So let's transition. The last thing is, what do they do with this formula? Do they take this to the mainstream games, or are we going to see just, legends, of other games? Like, say, whatever, Legends Mewtwo, or Legends, Celebi, or Ho-Oh, or whatever, other Legends games from other regions, whatever...
Yeah.
500 years before Alola, or 500 years before Johto, or whatever.
I completely get what you're saying. I think there's no reason to be stop what they're doing now with the games they have, because they still make money.
Yeah.
But may have two brands. Don't stop the Legends of Arceus. Make all the games, right? You have the money, you have the people.
They definitely will.
So, I want more... I would love a Legends of Celebi. I would love a Legends of Mew. How about Mew?
Yeah, Mew or
Mewtwo wasn't around.
But
a Legends of Mew would kill me. And then, because you can go into Johto. My only problem is I don't think the game's long enough. I am having so much fun. Dying on the inside because I don't want to finish it. And as much as I do, I'm not finished in the grinding aspect.
Yeah.
And I love grinding, but I want there to be a more story, if that makes sense.
I know what you're saying, but yeah, once I did finish the quote unquote main story, which I did last night, there is a little bit more afterward, a little more post game stuff.
Okay.
I haven't started yet. I don't know how long that's going to be, but we'll find out.
Okay. Well, hey, that leaves me something to look forward to.
Yeah, you have shit to look forward to. I can tell you that much. So I think we'll call it here. That was a great time. Thanks for having me at this place.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers with an empty cup. Cheers.
Cheers to podcast. Thanks for listening, guys.
Hell yeah.